man, we need to talk about WORLDCOIN, the new cryptocurrency taking the market by storm. This is a cryptocurrency set up by Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI and famously ChatGPT, and this is going to take the market by surprise, and it's a little bit controversial. We're going to get into this, whether I'm buying, what this token means, and whether I think it's a good project. There's going to be a deep dive, fundamental analysis. We'll look at the tokenomics, we'll look at the current price movements as well. Smash the likes, don't forget to subscribe. If you want to buy this crypto or any others, you can do so at ijaz.uk/bybit. Support the channel, check the link out in the description. Guys, this is Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. He set up ChatGPT, and now, remember this thing here, Google had these capture bots. Well, it's just leveled up because AI has now meant that little things like this are no longer good enough to prove that we're humans. And yes, that's what this token is about. I'm going to break it all down for you step by step. It's a little bit complicated, so you will need to bear with me. WorldCoin's mainnet, WLD token, goes live. You can see here Binance already listed it along with other exchanges. Like I said, you can check out Bybit, links in the description. There's OKX and Huobi as well. And already we can see the price movements. We'll come back onto the pricing and what this means in terms of value and market cap. But first we need to understand, what is this? So let's do a deep dive to understand what this is. Now, before I get into the literature, there's a lot of literature here which we're going to walk through. You need to understand the concept. The concept is that AI is growing at a fast rate. We know that. We've had prominent figures in the AI space coming out and saying, look, we need to pause, guys. This could get scarily bad. And Sam Altman, who's one of the founders, of course, of ChatGPT, he then said, look, we're going to get to a point where you have to prove you're a person. You have to prove that you're a human being. And they're calling this proof of personhood. You can see that here, proof of personhood. That is what this is all about. You're going to prove that you're a human, and for doing so, you're going to get given WLD tokens. And this is going to be the basis in the future for making sure that you're not a robot doing things. Because this is all created to stop robot from creating accounts and signing up to different pieces of software. Well, guess what? In the future, robots are going to want to vote. They're going to want to vote for your democracies and all other things, right? They're going to want to set up bank accounts and do all these different kinds of things. But this is going to enable people to prove that they are human. Absolutely insane. And normally I'm quite progressive with technology, but this just got me sitting and thinking, hang on, this is really scary how fast this is going, that we're going to have to prove that we're humans. And guess what? It gets crazier. You're going to have to prove so by going to a physical orb. Let me show you. So look at this, guys. They're going to have these physical orbs set up in different locations. You're going to have to go to these orbs and prove that you're human. It's going to scan a bunch of different things, your eyeballs and different likeness characters. And if it agrees that you're a human, which by the way, for some people it won't, there will be an error rate, right? You're not a human, you're not approved on the blockchain, and you will not get your WLD tokens. But for everybody else that are actual humans, and maybe I'm not a human, maybe I'm a simulation, they're going to get WLD tokens, and that WLD token can be traded, right? You can trade it on the exchanges, just like any other crypto asset. This is a solution for distinguishing humans from AI online while preserving privacy, enable global democratic processes, and show a potential path to AI funded UBI. For anybody involved in the space of AI who knows where AI is going, you can play the movie out and you will understand that AI, along with robots, will take over. They're going to do all the tasks that today humans do, pretty much. And then what does that mean for humans? We still need humans to consume. We need them to buy products. We need them to run the economy, right? We need them to consume, to be demand, because they're going to provide the supply. The robots and the AI will provide the supply. Well, we can't do so if we have no income, if we have no jobs. And that's where the argument, is a political argument currently in many countries about universal basic income comes about, which is, why don't we just give money to people for sitting at home? And guess what? We had a taster of that. Yep, we had a taste of that through the pandemic period when people had stimulus checks in many of the Western world. So this could be a path to AI-funded UBI, which is when the AI take over. If you just hold WLD tokens, you're going to get paid for sitting on your backside doing nothing just because you're a human, so you can spend it in the economy. Proof of personhood is one of the core ideas behind WorldCoin and refers to establishing an individual is both human and unique. Once established, it gives the individual the ability to assert they are a real person and different from another real person without having to reveal their real world identity. Very interesting. So they're saying you go over to this orb, right? You go to this little bot thing and you'll find them in different places and different people can apply, right? You can go ahead here and apply how to become a WorldCoin operator, and you can have one of these orbs in your shop if you have a shop somewhere. Now people will come there, they'll scan their likeness, and they'll be approved as a human, right? And by being approved as a human, they're going to now officially have this world ID, right? You're going to have this world ID which now says this is a human, he or she is unique, and apparently what they're saying is the orb will then delete all your data. Not sure about that. That's what Facebook said back in the day. You going to fall for that, guys? Who knows, right? They're saying, oh, we're going to delete all your data thereafter. Yeah, sure they are. Right. Some of the core assumptions behind WorldCoin are proof of personhood is a missing and necessary digital primitive. Scalable and inclusive proof of personhood for the time allows aligning incentives of all network participants around adding real humans to the network. Bitcoin is issued to secure the Bitcoin network. WorldCoin is issued to grow the WorldCoin network with security inherited from Ethereum. I'm going to come on to that because this is an ERC20 token, but it's being issued on Optimism, which is the layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum. So if you do get your world tokens, you're going to have to bridge them back across to Ethereum. More about that a little bit later. In a time of increasingly powerful AI, the most reliable way to issue a global proof of personhood is through custom biometric hardware. Okay, so we know what's going on here, right? You get your World ID, and World ID is a privacy-preserving proof of personhood. It enables users to verify their humanness online while maintaining their privacy through zero-knowledge proofs via a custom biometric device called the Orb. We've just covered that off, okay? So you go to the Orb, you get your World ID once it approves you, you can then get WLD tokens for doing absolutely nothing, okay? There's also an app. The World app is the first front end to the World ID. It guides individuals through the verification process with the Orb and custodies an individual's World ID. So currently there are no real use cases, right? We're gonna come on to, they've listed here a few potential use cases, but like I said, it's mainly gonna be used for proving you're a human. So if you can think of any examples where you need things like this to prove you're human, that's where you're going to see this come into play, because AI will become too smart. AI will be able to do this. This is not complicated, right? It's not really, you don't really need a human to be able to do this. So they're saying that anywhere you're going to need that, like for example, elections, right? So, or you know, voting fraud and things like that, that's where you're going to want to use it. That's what they're saying use case is. Okay, and then of course, eventually support a path to AI-funded UBI. To engage with the WorldCoin protocol, individuals must first download the World app, the first wallet app that supports the creation of a World ID. Individuals visit a physical imaging device called the Orb. Most orbs are operated by a network of independent local businesses. They verify humanness and uniqueness to issue an orb-verified World ID, with all images being promptly deleted. Yeah, I don't believe it. Promptly deleted. You're not going to delete anything. I don't believe it. Now check this out, guys. Tools for Humanity, which is the company operating this WorldCoin, Tools for Humanity, raised $115 million Series C in May. The round was led by Blockchain Capital with participation from A16Z, Bain Capital, and Distributed Global. So some big names here backing them to go ahead and build this. And you're going to see why this matters when we come across into the tokenomics. So let's jump into the tokenomics and understand what's going on, okay? So let's take a look at this. The project's goal regarding the WLD tokens are as follows. The majority of WLD tokens will be given to individuals, okay? Not earned, given to individuals simply for being a unique human. The majority of humans who are alive today will receive WLD tokens, making WLD the most widely distributed digital currency. Yeah, I don't know about that, right? You're assuming that people are going to go to the Orb and go claim this because they want free money. Not everybody will, right? I don't think I'm going to go to an Orb and claim some free WLD tokens. I can't be bothered. The WLD token alongside World ID will be used for protocol governance. The WLD token will form the foundation of the largest privacy-preserving identity and financial network. Now, what's interesting is you're not going to want to just go there for the Orb, right? What they're going to try to do is tie this into critical day-to-day use cases. So, for example, you're in a country, you want to set yourself up a national security number, or you want to set yourself up a bank account, or you're going to want to vote. They're going to make you go to one of these orbs, right? That's what WorldCoin is going to try to do. They're going to try to partner with governments and major institutions, so you can't do anything without verifying your humanness. So eventually, when they're saying we're going to get to everybody, maybe they will, right? Because they're going to tie it into the use cases. So you won't be able to do anything unless you've done this, which is horrible, really. So now we can look at what's happened. So they launched, of course, today. We know the fanfare is all about today. They went ahead and launched on a bunch of exchanges like we covered off. Bybit, links in description. That will support the channel if you buy any cryptos using that link. WorldCoin is an ERC20 token on the Ethereum mainnet. Individuals will receive their user grant on Optimism. Remember Optimism, the layer 2 scaling solution. Therefore, if you want to move it back to Ethereum, you will have to bridge across using the Optimism bridge. Very important. Now, the initial supply cap they're saying is 10 billion. Okay, 10 billion wild tokens, but only 143 million are currently at launch in circulation. So if we take the current price, and we can check this price on Binance, okay, you can see it's sitting at $2.3 there, and you can see, yep, here on OKX as well, it's about 2.3. So it kind of went as high up here as 2.9, and then it fell down here over the last couple of hours or so. That's not the point, right? We're expecting volatility in the price. But if you look at $2.3 and use that as the number, then what we're really talking about with 143 million in supply is you can do 143 million multiplied by your 2.3, and you're sitting here at $328 million in market cap. So nothing crazy just yet in terms of the market cap. But more importantly, if you start looking at what the fully diluted market cap is, that's 10 times 2.3. Now you're at $23 billion already on this WorldCoin, which has no use cases as of today. So already a fully diluted valuation is 23 billion in market cap, which is very high. But of course, in circulating supply, the current market cap is not as high with the number shared around that 300 million mark. We then want to take a look at the inflation rate. So they're saying that the inflation rate by default is set at 0. However, it will be 1.5% per year, starting at the earliest after 15 years. So we're going to come on to what that looks like shortly as we take a deeper dive into the tokenomics. Okay, so let's take a look at this. So retrospective, a successful pre-launch phase of the WorldCoin project ran from May 2021 to July 2023. They've been working on this thing for over 3 years, remember guys. During this time period, more than 2 million individuals verified their IDs at an orb across more than 30 different countries. Subject to availabilities, these users had already allocated more than 43 million WLD tokens before launch. So remember guys, from a trading perspective, some of these are going to be looking to dump. They've claimed these tokens for ages. Suddenly they get an exchange listing, and guess what they're going to want to do? They're going to go want to realize some of their tokens, right? So they go and sell it into the market, of course, because up till now they've been holding this for ages and it's not meant anything for them, right? If you started this project in May 2021 and then somebody went to an orb and claimed some useless WLD tokens which are sat on Optimism, and suddenly you want to cash it in, right? So they're going to go ahead and cash it in. At launch, WorldCoin begins the rollout of 1,500 orbs to meet the global demand. Let's take a look at the split. You can see the vast majority is in Asia, 32%, Africa similarly 31%, then Europe has got about 17%, followed by LATAM with 19%. So fairly distributed here around the world, as you'd expect for them to do. And now we want to take a look at the token distribution, right? What's the allocation of the initial tokens to the community? Of the 143 million that they've put in circulating supply, how are they splitting that out? Well, 75% goes to people. Okay, so 75% of that has been allocated to the people that go to the orbs, verify their humanness, and collect their WLD tokens. But that's not it. 13.5% goes to the investors, which we covered off, right? Blockchain, you've got A16Z, you've got Bain Capital. They're going to go and collect a nice, handsome chunk for their investment. The TFH reserve will get 1.7%, and the initial development team, which is of course Sam Altman and his friends, will go ahead and pocket 9.8% for what I think right now is a ludicrous innovation. And it's scary that we need to be creating something like this, but I just don't like the concept of this. I just think it's remarkably, I'm quite progressive in my thinking. I like tech. I just think this is just silly. This is just silliness to go to an orb and verify your humanness. Why do we need to do that? So now we need to move on to the distribution model. How is that circulating supply going to increase over time? And this is one of those tokenomics metrics which loads of new people into crypto always fall for. They look at the market cap today and they don't look at how that's going to get diluted over time. And this is how smart people like these investors make money out of you guys, because you're not reading the detail. Today they're launching 143 million, yes, but over time they're going to be throwing more and more coins into the market until they get to 10 billion. You can see here, this is the roadmap. In year one, they're going to get to this point, and then by year three, they want to get over to 6.5 billion or so. They'll cross the 8 billion circulation mark within 6 years, and then on the 9th year after launch, they're already going to be at 8.5 billion tokens in the market. A huge difference to what you're seeing right now. So there's going to be a lot of sell pressure on this token, in my opinion. I mean, look here, they even admit it themselves. To facilitate the scale that WorldCoin aims to achieve over the next few years, a substantial quantity of tokens may be required for the WorldCoin community, potentially within the first few years after launch. This is why 4 billion WLD of the WorldCoin community tokens are unlocked over the initial 3 years. However, the rate at which these tokens enter circulating supply is controlled by governance, and it depends on the speed of the network's growth. So you can see here, they've broken it down how many billion they're going to be throwing out. Same data as the chart I just shared with you. But as you can see, very quickly getting themselves up towards 8 billion, and eventually, of course, the max supply of that 10 billion mark in WLD tokens. Another thing to remember, of the 143 million in circulating supply right now, only 43 million of those are being held by individuals who did the retrospective part. So those who were in the pilot, who verified at an orb already over the last couple of years during the test period, they've got 43 million in totality, okay? So they could potentially be looking to dump that into the market. The other 100 million WLD tokens have been loaned to market makers, right? So think of Bybit, Binance, OKX, all these exchanges and other market makers. That's been loaned to them, and they need to give that back after 3 months. So really only 43 million is in supply, and they're going to be looking to ramp that up aggressively over the next few years. Now, the way these tokens are going to be released into circulating supply are through two key methods. And the first one is that any new and existing verified individuals will receive user grants. They're calling it grants because they don't want to say airdrop, but you're basically going to get a bunch of WLD tokens if you're an existing verified or if you're new. So every so often they're going to incentivize you to hold on to your WLD tokens and keep verified. The other thing to look at is that orb operators. If you're one of those that go onto this website and say, hey, I want to have an orb in my shop, you're going to get some WLD tokens as well, just for verifying other orb individuals. Now let's take a look at how decentralized this project is. Of course, to start with, it's very, very centralized. So they're saying until decentralization and self-sufficiency, the WorldCoin Foundation will support the WorldCoin ecosystem. As part of its role, the foundation will allocate the WorldCoin community tokens primarily towards 3 different purposes: user grants, network operators, and ecosystem funds. However, there are significant variables in terms of how the WorldCoin project will evolve over time. So let's take a look at this. So what they're saying here is we're going to keep 60% for user grants, which we just went through. They're going to give it to users, right? They then want to keep less than 10% for network operations. So manufacturing the orbs, remember they're physical devices they're going to have to manufacture, operator rewards, other operations, marketing, sequencer, etc. Less than 5% for ecosystem fund, and the rest goes into initial team development, to the investors, and to the reserves. And again, look how they try to put it as a small chunk here. That's a lot. 13.5% of the foundation's funds going to investors as well. Okay, very, very important to notice that. So as you can see here, guys, as I'm sitting here as of my time, 3 o'clock roughly, you can see here the price continues to fall. Initially, it opened up here on OKX exchange, sitting at $2.6. It did run up to $2.9, so congratulations to anybody who traded that. But then ever since there, a big bleed here to the downside, falling from highs to where we're at now of 21%. So a 21% fall here if you're buying here on the open. Be very, very careful with these new tokens. Yes, there's a lot of hype, but particularly for a project like this, I don't like it right now. This is not a project I'm currently liking. I don't like the ethos behind it. I don't like the concept behind it. It's a little bit creepy, if I may say so. And I just see that their tokenomics do not look great at all. Of course, as time goes by, as things change, we will revisit this token to see if it changes, if it's a concept we like, if it's something I will invest in. But both as an investment, as an idea, I'm not liking it right now. So no, I'm out. I'm not buying. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you appreciate this type of content, smash up likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Go watch my Cadena versus Casper video here, or my Michael Kong Phantom interview on the $200 million hack. And I'll see you in the next one.